Hey guys, so today's project is some reclamation of wood. These big boards, these heavy duty boards from Dallin, I got from one of the head frames up in north. And I saw somebody was using it for firewood, so I'm like, no, I don't want that. It's a real shame to waste this good, nice 100-year-old wood just to burn. It's a real loss. So I'm gonna try to somehow preserve some of it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a shelf for the basement I'm trying to keep the original look possible. This is the bottom of the board, so I'm trying to keep that nice weathered dark gray look. It's a little beaten up, as you can see. It wasn't the elements, and the headframe collapsed. You know, like the boards are just left there nice and good condition, so they're rough, but that's kind of the look I like. Anyway, so the first step, what I've been doing, I've been using a wire brush just to brush everything and try to take as much debris off it. And I might give a very light sanding, a little bit of sandpaper just to take the roughness off, and give it a wash with some detergent, maybe a little borax, just to kill off any insects, and then let this dry. So I'll do the same with all these pieces essentially, and then I'll cut it to shape. So pretty much all I've been doing now is pretty much just going like that. You can see the wood is rough on descent because this is the bottom side. The top side's in a lot better shape. So I'm gonna try to pick up any big bits. I gotta give this a wash now to get all this off. I'm trying not to do too much damage to the actual patina of the wood. That's what I really want to preserve. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Alright, so I'm just gonna add some borax in a jug of water. Not too much. And I'm gonna just use that and wash the board off. That's kind of the idea I got going here. And but that I'm going to do after. I'm going to just give it a really quick sanding first. Okay, so I got a little bit of sandpaper, not too heavy grit, just a light layer. Yeah, just a light layer. What I'm doing is I just want to get a little bit off the surface, any rough edges from the surface, but that's it. Very light sanding, that's all I'm going to be doing. Remember, I'm trying to keep the look of the wood. I promise there's damage, that's going to be a bit of a tricky part, but I won't do too much to it. Anyway, just going to keep going and see how it looks at the end, alright? So now this is the top part of the board. It looks in a lot better shape than the bottom. I even like the authentic look of leaving a big nail. You know, this is 100-year-old wood. It's pretty impressive. It's really, this piece was heavy. This was heavy too. A lot of lighter because they're in kind of rough shape. This one's heavy. So now, I'm just gonna start washing it with the solution of the borax. I'm gonna first use this to get the bigger edge off it. See, just like that. I'm gonna soak it, and then it's gonna be drying. I'm gonna rinse it off. I'm gonna go like this, and then I'll use my rag over here when it's wet, and that'll be that procedure. Yep. Another rinse cycle. Yep. Good rinsing. So after the curing from the borax solution, you can see the crystals forming on the surface. I'm gonna cut this thing. So I measured, and it's gonna be right here. Exactly 3 feet. So there you go. I'm going to cut right here. Good. My saw's a little small, but it'll do. I'll cut both sides, flip it over, sand it down. Should be fine. You know, sometimes you just gotta improvise. So here I go. There's the cut. You can smell the old cedar. Smells good. That's like 100-year-old cedar. Very nice. I gotta keep cutting, and there we go. So this is generally the workbench, the way it's gonna look. I mean, the basement bench, I suppose. I wanted to have a really rough, old, makeshift kind of look because this is 100-year-old wood. It's super solid. This piece over here, really heavy duty, unbelievably heavy. Probably weighs 70 pounds, 60 pounds. Amazing how thick that piece is. And I cut the end off and I turned it into these two right here. So I'm just gonna flip it, and I'm gonna use actually nails just to keep it a little bit more authentic. I tried to put a screw in, honestly, and the wood is so hard that even the drill doesn't want to go through it. It's dense. It's beautiful. The wood is really nice. Anyway, so let's get this started. So I'm going to use this piece over here for the back part. It's going to go behind here, and the shelves are going to go in like so. So this is a nice piece of old wood too. Oh, I love it. Heavy duty, strong. Like nothing compares to that piece. That piece down there is a killer. Amazing piece. That must have been some giant tree. So I'm just going to cut this for the back part, and it's going to go, one's going to go here, one's going to go there, and let's go from there. So I've measured that both pieces in the back are going to be 15 inches high from the base to the top, and that's about 15 inches here. Now, as for the rough look of the wood, I have no intention of changing that. I want the wood to look authentic at the back, every angle you can imagine. So all I'm going to do is, when I'm done with all this, I'm going to just sand it. I'm probably going to plane the tops of these legs just so they all kind of are balanced, because they're a little bit uneven. But I like the rustic, really rustic makeshift look. It is a head frame, so I want to keep a bit of that authenticity there. So I'm going to just cut this thing and measure number 15, give or take here, and cut that. And it's going to go for the back here and back here. And then we start assembling using nails and then gluing. And then after that's done, we let it dry, and then we're going to do some nice sanding and planing and a bit of a finish on top to protect the wood. First cut is done. Look at that beautiful wood. Nice. Not sure what kind of wood that is, but it doesn't seem like a cedar. It smells different. Beautiful, beautiful wood. So here's some nice cut up pieces. Look at that, beautiful. Look how dense that wood is. I love the cracks in it, everything. The only problem though, because of this wood is kind of old, when I was cutting it, there was a crack in the middle, right here. That crack unfortunately is broken both sections. So the shelf is not as long as I like, but you know what, it will still work. I'm looking at it and it's not going to stick out as I hoped, but it's still the same. Like the whole wood is cracked down the middle. But this is like gorgeous wood. Like even the saw, you can tell the difference how it's struggling. Look how thick it is. 100-year-old wood. Can't beat that. Anyway, so I'm going to use it. This is going to be the back part. Once I put them all in, assemble the door, assemble the legs, and then start sanding her down, but just enough because I don't want to lose the texture. I know this is going to be heavy. Oh my god. Alright, so it's assembled as much as I want it to be. So now I'm going to use the sander over here to sand the roughness off the wood, just to give it a little bit of look. So I'm going to work on that just a bit, smooth the edges especially, and then I'm going to put some sort of lacquer on top. Here we go. Alright, well, took some time, but I've sanded the wood to some layer that I'm pretty happy with. It's good. I'm happy with it, so I'm going to put a bit of a cover on it now. All the edges are smoothed out. Very nice. It looks nice and rustic. I love it. Beautiful wood. This bloody thing weighs a ton. It's probably a good 60 pounds. It's amazing how much it weighs. I love it. So I'm going to put a coating on it. Just give me 1 second. I'll get it right now. Okay, so this is stuff we're going to use right here. There you go. Sorry, French side. And there we go. That's a diamond wood finish, water-based interior, crystal clear, satin. So, just going to dip it into the solution right here. I'm just using like a one-time brush because it's going to be a one-time project. Too bad it's windy, but and there we go. I just started applying it all over like this. I'm going to put at least 3 coats. I want this to be well coated, well coated. This is nice wood. I want to preserve as much as I can, so I'm going to make the effort. Yeah, very nice. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing this. I'll show you how after the first coat it looks, and we'll go from there. All ready? Yes. Okay, so first coat is done. There it goes. I got a cat spectating. And there's my cat. Yeah, watch, you have a cat. Anyway, so first coat is done. Gonna let it dry for a few hours, and then he's gonna go back inside the shed. And then tomorrow, another coat. All right, so I'm quite pleased with the way the first layer of the lacquer has done it. It's very, very nice. You can see it's a lot more smoother, looks much more protected. Nice. I like it. So, this is my rustic setup. But one more thing I want to add before I'm done with this project is this. You should know these are old rail spikes from different mines up in Cobalt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole and put a couple of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, give or take. It's going to be 4 of these guys in there. Isn't that cool? Preserving like a piece of different mining heritage. And the best part is, in the future, if I encounter more of them, I can add a lot more. A couple here, here. So there you go. I got options. So first thing I'm going to do is just drill a hole somewhere around here and start from there, and then I'll hammer the guy in. Well, here is the rail spikes. Oh, I loved it. Looks so rustic. See, some of the rail spikes are very bent and twisted. I think it adds nice character. I like it. Very nice. Alright, so I'm giving it a final coat. I was going to go 3 coats, but honestly, I'm happy with 2. But I'm going to give just 1 extra more, just to give it a little bit more. So, just brushing it back and forth. We'll do the front as well. The top and the front are the most important, because they're the ones that are going to be visible, the ones that are going to be actually touched with on a relatively daily basis, I suppose. Just give it like that. Put it on and start going back and forth. I'm trying to fill in the big cracks too. That's another idea. Anyway, so that's the idea. I'm going to keep going like that, show you the final picture, and show you where I'm going to put it once it dries. I'm giving it a good 24 hours to dry, because it seems to be sufficient. From the first coat I did, which was quite thick, 24 hours seemed quite well. It's nice dry. The temperature is about 18, 17 degrees, so that's not bad. Anyway, there we go.